So while watching the World Cup, there was something I couldn't help but notice. When the camera zoomed in to the players on the benches, they were sitting on race car seats. Now, a lot of soccer teams or football teams, they do sit on race car seats. You don't see that in basketball. LeBron James isn't sitting on race car seats. Aaron Judge isn't sitting on race car seats. LeBron James is sitting on folding chairs that you buy from Target. I mean, they do look more cushiony, but nonetheless, they're folding chairs. They're not cool-looking, comfortable race car seats. His ass isn't comfortable like the millionaire soccer players out there. So the story goes back to the 1990s. So it started with the German automotive seat maker Recaro, and now this article is on jalopnik.com. Link is in the description. So what happened with Recaro is that the owner of Recaro at the time, Ulrich Pusch, who was on the board of the German soccer team FC Kaiserslautern, he gave the team's manager, Kali Fieldkamp. Now, I may have pronounced all these names wrong, but I am not German after all. He gave the team's manager, Kali Fieldkamp, a sports car seat because the guy had back issues. He had back problems. You know, like all of us do once we get into that age anyway. So then, sort of starting from 1994, the rest of the team got their own custom-tailored race car seats. They just love the style of it. I mean, you have to look at them. Who doesn't love a beautiful race car seat? It looks a lot better than your grandma's wingback. So all the players started getting race car seats, and other players from other teams, they saw it and they just thought it was so gorgeous and it was so cool. I mean, yeah, you got a cool race car seat than just an ordinary bench you sit on. And that's when the trend started. Other players wanted race car seats for their teams as well. So back to Ulrich on FC Kaiserslautern. Ulrich had Recaro make complete benches for the team as part of a sponsorship deal. And now Recaro they claim they make over 70 tops soccer team player benches. They make seats for huge teams like Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid and so many others, as well as some seats for Japanese baseball teams. And Recaro is probably the biggest supplier of race car seats in Europe and Japan. And I mean, this trend isn't only race car seats. Apparently some teams have even gotten airline seats as benches. I mean, I don't want like an airline seat from Spirit or like a BS coach airline seats. I mean, if they're getting like high-end first class seats, then I mean, that's just awesome. Legend for Chelsea, 27-year-old midfielder.
Been with them for 5 seasons since moving from Lille in France, winning the Ligue 1 title.
Yeah, since 2013 he's been with Chelsea.
Yes.
So, I mean, Barcelona and Real Madrid have been scouting him to play for them. I mean, he's with Chelsea. I think I can't picture him anywhere else but Chelsea. He's
Absolutely. He's been a Chelsea icon for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, I can't imagine a Chelsea jersey without Hazard written on it. So, I mean, I'm glad that he's happy with Chelsea. So happy that he's declined the offer and he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
As of 2015, he was making 10.4 million with Chelsea, and new reports claim that Chelsea is offering him 300,000 per week.
And also, I think with bringing in new manager Maurizio Sarri to Chelsea, Eden Hazard has sat down with Sarri, and it looks like he's found newfound inspiration in staying with Chelsea, with the manager being so, convincing to Eden Hazard.
I mean, better yet, I mean, why? Like I said, I can't see him anywhere else for Chelsea. I mean, the way he played in the World Cup was just phenomenal. That is how a star plays. He scored 3 goals, 2 assists in the World Cup. When Messi was out in the World Cup, Hazard was the guy who would replace him in the agility and the pace that he showed in the World Cup.
He lit up the show, leading Belgium to the semi-final.
I mean, I seriously thought Belgium would take it just because of the way he played. Like, it was just amazing.
Absolutely, since Belgium are in their golden age of football, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like I said, he's been with Chelsea for a while. He started off his professional debut with
Lille in the Ligue 1 in France, winning the Ligue 1 title against big teams at the time such as Montpellier and Paris Saint-Germain. And he was only 22 when he did it too, an amazing feat at such a young age.
Yeah, so I mean, he is a star. I mean, but I can understand why Real Madrid would want him so badly. I mean, with Ronaldo out, and you know, he's out because he's old, and Hazard in his prime, he's 27 years old, and
but I can see why Real Madrid would want to bring in a new big name such as Eden Hazard after losing Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus. I mean, he's participated in almost all the Real Madrid goals last season, and I think Real Madrid, if they're going to depend on both Karim Benzema and Gareth Bale to provide all the goals next season, I think that's just not going to work, considering they have been sort of lackluster in the past few years. They really need that new big player to kind of lead the team again, like Eden Hazard can, like Ronaldo did.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I was Chelsea's coach, I would go...
I'd be panicking right now.
Yeah, I'd be panicking. So that's why it's obvious why Real Madrid want Chelsea. Barcelona,
yes. Actually, that's one that kind of really baffles me, considering Barcelona have been so active in the transfer market so far after bringing in another winger that plays in similar position to Eden Hazard. They bought in Malcolm from Bordeaux after lighting up the Ligue 1. I think that Barcelona really doesn't need another player like Eden Hazard, even though it could be great. Obviously, who wouldn't want a player of his caliber? I just think Barcelona needs to bolster in more positions than just on their wings, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, their play is sort of aggressive, isn't it? It's more of attacking.
It is, but I think their manager Valverde, he kind of needs another backbone. Since losing Andres Iniesta, one of the icons of Barcelona for the past decade, and he's kind of asked Philippe Coutinho, another player, to kind of play in the same Iniesta kind of role, but that's really not Coutinho. They need a new defensive-minded player, like they had with Sergio Busquets, who's currently he's sort of twilighting. You know, he's getting kind of old. I think they need another backbone, another sort of player that can make their clock tick on the field, so to speak.
Well, I mean, let's say hypothetically Hazard did decide to go with Barcelona. I mean, which defender would, have his back?
I mean, yeah, I think Barcelona, there's such a thing as being too good, They don't need another Eden Hazard. If they get another big name like Eden Hazard, he's going to be, battling with Messi and Suarez to be the big man in Barcelona. And I think with too many sort of huge names that kind of demand their spotlight, it's going to lead to Barcelona, kind of flopping, which is scary to say if they do try and bring in Eden Hazard.
I mean, it seemed like Barcelona's trying to do what the Miami Heat tried to do when they had LeBron James, Dwayne Wade,
and Chris Bosh. I was just about to bring up that point, actually.
And all of it. I think they're trying to make an all-star team, which, I mean, Barcelona is huge. Everyone around the world knows Barcelona. They got more money than... They're drowning in money. They're drowning in cash. So, I mean, they got the power and the cash to back up, Hazard.
And of course, I mean, they have the prestige too. I mean, Malcolm, he could have gone to AS Roma, a team that probably is better suited to him. But I mean, like you said, if you see Barcelona, you're gonna want to go. It is Barcelona.
Yeah, I mean, it does have, the prestige of it. Like you saying, oh, you played for Barcelona. And I mean, but Hazard, he has great teammates in Chelsea. Him and
Thibaut Courtois, Alvaro Morata, even though he hasn't exactly hit the back of the net too much, he is a very promising guy. Also, he's created a huge friendship and partnership off the field with Willian and Thibaut Courtois, who's also been linked to Real Madrid, and I think actually he might go, with also being the Belgium and Chelsea teammate of Eden Hazard. Since Real Madrid, they need another goalkeeper because they've let in a lot of goals last season.
Yeah. So that's the news latest about Hazard. Glad to see he's staying with Chelsea. I couldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely.
So speaking of Barcelona, more news from them. They are looking to revamp their entire roster. But they're still gonna have, the key players, the legends, Leo Messi and Suarez. You cannot get rid of them. Leo Messi, their contracts, they both expire in 2021.
With Suarez making a reported 15 million a year and Messi obviously making a huge 667,000 a week.
You can't fight those figures. Who wouldn't want to stay with those kind of numbers? And 2021 is a long way. They still have, a lot of time with Barcelona.
Yeah, but then again, I know Messi definitely. He's never going to leave Barcelona. But Luis Suarez, I feel like he definitely would feel threatened. Of course, with Barcelona trying to build their new attack, buying an attacker, the 21-year-old winger Malcolm, Luis Suarez would feel sort of threatened that maybe his position in the huge, lineup might be, up for grabs.
Maybe that's what it might happen. Maybe that's what it seems like. Maybe Barcelona's trying to bring, fresh new players. Maybe they're looking for a future Messi that they can mold and shape into their own, Frankenstein-like creation.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Barcelona are ready for the future. They bought in 2 Brazilian players, both 21, Arthur, the central midfielder, and the winger, of course, Malcolm. And they brought in the young 23-year-old defender Clément Lenglet from Sevilla. He's been great for Sevilla, and I think he's definitely going to be another key defender for Barcelona in the coming season.
Yeah, but you don't think like maybe Barcelona, they try to get like at least one experienced star player?
It doesn't seem that way considering, Ernesto Valverde. He's shown a great deal of appeal to sort of the younger players. He's given a lot of young players chances since bringing in a very young Samuel Umtiti from Lyon, and also showing a lot of praise for young players such as Sergi Roberto, Sergi Samper. He definitely thinks that building for the future is a much better option.
So, yeah, I guess. But let's say, hypothetically, if they were to bring, an experienced player, who would they bring? Like anyone from La Liga or the Premier League or something?
I think...
Hey, MLS maybe.
Very funny. But yeah, I think after sort of Antoine Griezmann, who won the World Cup with France just a few weeks ago, he was linked to Barcelona for like months and months, him being in the prime of his career only in his mid-20s. But the huge bombshell, it was revealed that he decided to stay with Atletico Madrid instead of going to Barcelona, and I think that completely threw off their entire plan for the transfer window, and so now they're kind of in panic mode, buying all the impact players they can.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. So yeah, it does seem like, fresh, a good idea to get sort of fresh new faces in the team, look to the future, something long term.
But I think that, Barcelona, they've been sort of trying to improve in the wrong places. They've been trying to buy new attackers, but I think like they've lost so many good defenders. They've lost Luka Dean, who's probably going to go to Everton in the next few weeks, and Yerry Mina looks like he's going to find the exit door not so soon, not so long after. So I think, yeah, they need even more defensive-minded players. Their midfield isn't exactly the most defensive-minded. They need another player like Sergio Busquets, who's kind of twilighting. He's pretty old. They need another sort of anchor man who can shield the defense. And I think Gerard Piqué too. He's looked pretty iffy last season, so they need even more defensive-minded players and buying even more attackers.
Oh yeah, Piqué, Shakira's boyfriend. I forgot about that guy. Well, let's see what the future holds for Barcelona. As long as Messi is there, I got no issues with Barcelona. And I think I think it would be nice to see some, really new up and coming players. We could get a future Messi. It'd be nice to see, which of their young prospects would step up to the plate, sort of, step up to fill in Messi's shoes for the future,
Especially because, I mean, the prestigious Barcelona youth system, La Masia, the players it's brung in. It's brung in Lionel Messi, Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta, Puyol. So I think another huge player from La Masia that's going to come up is Yard Gumbau. He sort of is another Sergio Busquets-like player, He's kind of that sort of defender. And I think if Barcelona, instead of trying to buy new players from all around, they should invest more in the youngsters they have in their youth team instead of trying to buy new players that have lit up other leagues, right?
Yeah, that's a fair point. So, for Barcelona, only time will tell. And I gotta say, I'm looking forward. I'm curious to see what their roster would look like.
Absolutely, who knows for the future? Let's see.